Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to 80 Days. It may have been a while, but let's just get right into it, shall we? What were we doing? Departs tomorrow. We should head to Moscow, it seems. Where are we right now? We're in St. Petersburg. We don't have anything to sell. Let's explore and see what we get. Well, isn't this interesting? I took a few hours to explore, investigating the various options for how we might continue our journey. Alright. We'll pass the night here. As night fell, I made certain to repack and iron everything. I helped the kitchen staff clean, earning 58 pounds in fees and tips, as well as discovering from her that an aunt worked in Ekaterinburg just before the Trans-Siberian Express to Omsk suffered a fire. Most intriguing. Let's see if we can't head into Moscow. The Tsar's Finger. The line from St. Petersburg to Moscow was affectionately known as the Tsar's Finger and ran perfectly straight apart from a bend near the city of Novgorod. The story went that the route was drawn by the Tsar with a ruler, except where he drew around his own fingertip. This was typical of the popular image of interfering Russian Tsars, and the story we found to be widely believed. Greetings, Madame Minin. May I see your ticket? I've discovered you can reach Omsk from Moscow. On the subject of trains, I've heard Herod can be reached from Tehran aboard the Kamarta. Do tell me more about Herat. The Kingdom of Afghanistan is the vassal state of the Persian Empire. I understood it's possible to travel from Herat to Kabul. You mentioned trains. I've been told I knew a man who always wanted to travel aboard the Trans-Siberian Express from Karymskaya to Vladivostok. What more can you tell me about Vladivostok? You talk a lot, don't you? The train was comfortable enough. I spent my first day aboard, watching the scenery go by and relaxing. Even a valet must take time off. We settled down for the night. The train was stopped twice before reaching Moscow. The first time it was searched for artificers' equipment, and the second time they searched for weaponry. It seems the Russians do not take risks, or else they simply like to keep their people under their thumb. Unfortunately, one of the other passengers decided to put up a fight, insisting they would not open their suitcase. A standoff commenced. I got to my feet, knowing Monsieur Fogg's wish would be for a speedy resolution, no matter the cost. I approached the man directly and demanded he turn himself in. "Whatever secret you hide, Monsieur," I declared, it's not worth making us other travelers suffer." The guards, spurred on by my words, grabbed the man by his arms and marched him off the train. We began to move once more. I returned to Monsieur Fogg, rather pleased with myself, but he was looking concerned. "Hardly gallant behavior," he remarked. The oil-skinned Celestian could earn us well here. Aching muscles, eh? Let's get this in here. get some of these rest and recuperation sets, shall we? Our completed physical restorative set should protect against strenuous conditions. Seems good. My, we have quite the selection, don't we? To Omsk, to Irkutsk. Wow, that is, I must say, quite the journey. To head to Omsk, my word. We may want to head here, but it departs tomorrow. Let's stay back in Moscow and spend the night. Moscow was not a comfortable city for Frenchmen. A local composer had just written a piece people were calling the 1812 Overture, commemorating the Russian victory over Napoleon's invading Grande Armée in that fateful year. Patriotic passions were at fever. So I stayed very sensibly indoors. Alas, my friends, my solitude was quickly interrupted by an officious rap on the door. Two men in clothes so plain that they were most certainly police officers invited themselves in. The new Tsar was a paranoid sort, so it was said, but who could blame him, having personally witnessed his father's assassination as a young man? My luck, it seemed, had deserted me. So I resolved to make my own. They asked me my name and purpose, and I lied audaciously and wildly, playing the part of a hapless Bavarian nobleman, complete with conjured accent and with peremptory gesticulation. They interrupted my theatrics with a sniff. "Your most insolent servant. You are lucky that we have already spoken with your master, Monsieur Fogg, and he has satisfied us." They proceeded to rummage through our cases, tossing our possessions in all directions, but evidently finding nothing of interest. "Do not stay in Moscow too long. Russian air does not suit Frenchmen." I took their warning to heart, and quite looked forward to departing the Tsarist capital. Well, let's get out. We took a freight train towards Tsaristan. Though the line was nominally a spur of the majestic Trans-Siberian, the track was of much older construction, and hardly luxurious, let us say. It was quite an imposition for Monsieur Fogg, a fact which I attempted to temper with solicitousness and care on our journey, though there was little that could be done to shield Monsieur Fogg from the rickety swaying carriage and whistling draught. I could not wish for a superior valet. By the end of the day, Monsieur Fogg was feeling almost sorry for himself, or perhaps slightly motion sick from his insistent study of the newspaper. From Tsaritsan to Astrakhan, on the border of the Caspian Sea, was a short distance, but the train managed to make a great deal of work out of it, huffing its way along the banks of Volga. I stayed with Monsieur Fogg for the morning, attending to his toilet, and managed to settle him somewhat, a minor miracle. We arrived in the mid-afternoon and went to explore this new town. The Camry now. The evening jacket. There it is. Alright. Frequent flyer. No, that should all be fine. Let's explore. Perfect. The city of Astrakhan sits on the tiptoe of the Russian Bear, where the Volga River empties into the Caspian Sea. I found the people to be mostly friendly, and I asked their advice on how to continue on from the city. A passing remarkably frenetic, British seamstress. A passing, remarkably frenetic British seamstress. Let's try this one more time. A passing, remarkably frenetic British seamstress suggested the boat to Tehran, and went on to remark that the devout sisters of Didacus are best avoided in Madras. And what should I do with my time in Astrakhan? I asked. The response was immediate. You must bathe in the river mud. My new friend showed me to a small hut by the river, where vats of fresh mud were available for soaking in. The idea seemed repellent and deeply suspect, so I thanked her for the suggestion, but pretended an urgent appointment and slipped away. As at Dolores, I was not exposing my tender French flesh to such indignities. Alright, let's stay the night. Before going to bed, I starched the collars of our shirts to ensure everything was ship-shape for our inevitable departure. Let's see. Departs tomorrow. We still can't head out anywhere. We made ourselves comfortable for the night, and I spent a while talking to the hotelier to learn what I could, hearing from her that the quickest way to Herat is through Baku, a most interesting snippet. Forlanini Hydrofoil. That's an interesting name. The Hydrofoil across the Caspian Sea was a small affair run by one Alexander Sedlov, a keener and more enthusiastic amateur sailor than I have ever encountered. This is your ship? I asked as we boarded and stowed the luggage away. He patted the side rail of the craft, which wobbled. An ex-military vessel my cousin acquired, he replied proudly. I used to be a clerk. The lure of the waves took me by the throat and never let go. He demonstrated with one hand around my neck. Now, this is all I do. Never set foot on dry land. Sea legs are my only legs. I looked at his eyes as he spoke, and saw even then the flicker of madness. Then he threw the switch on the engine, and we were hurled across the seawater. Literally hurled, as though standing aboard a spinning discus as it leaves the athlete's hand. Greetings, Captain Sedlov. We'll go bite now. Now, what do you know about Tehran? Parisian alliance with the Ottoman Empire is proving fruitful. Is there a route from Tehran to Baghdad? No idea, but now I hear that Baghdadi hospitality is rightly famous. Do tell me more about Baghdad. About Baghdad. Did you know you can pick up ancient artifacts in Baghdad that will sell for a fortune in Dubai? The hydrofoil's wild motion did not slow. Is it meant to rotate this way? I shouted over the crashing waves and roaring engine. Sedlov nodded. Isn't it invigorating? I am not convinced, monsieur, I replied. I know a little of machines, and really, there's something a little loose about the suspension, true, but I don't find it too much of a difficulty. Is this craft seaworthy? Of course, he boomed. Then, just as it appeared things could not get any worse, he pulled out a bottle of vodka and began to sing. Most entertaining past aboard. By the second day, the broken suspension was all I could think about. None of us had enjoyed any sleep, and while Alexander kept his spirits alive with vodka-laced coffee, myself and Monsieur Fogg were at our wits' end. I tried to sleep, but obviously could not. After several hours, we came in sight of Baku, and we raised a ragged cheer as though we had survived a shipwreck. We put into land to rest out the night. Much appreciated. Why, what did I call him, Gerald? By Gerald, I feel most comfortable. After 6 hours of torture aboard the dread Hydrofoil, There followed 5 hours more, by the end of which I think there were parts of my body that had seen no blood flow all day. Finally, Captain Sedlov sighted land. "Tehran," he declared. "Do not worry, my friends. You will find it a most comfortable place to be." "Relatively speaking, no doubt," I replied sourly. Sedlov nodded. I'm not convinced he really understood English at all. I fancy he spoke it like a parrot. We disembarked and he held out his hand for a tip. I will be honest, I hit him. Monsieur Fogg chose, on this occasion, to simply look elsewhere rather than condemn my action. Honor satisfied, we staggered away into town. We'll pass the night here. Tehran was a city of invention and artifice, wrapped around ancient grandeur. Bayandor airships floated between the minarets of mosques and church spires glowing golden in the gaslight. I longed to hear a rubaiyat in the manner of Edward Fitzgerald, and I scoured the streets for places of poetry recitation, but found none. The nighttime city was filled with technicians, wiring, and cables. There were even telegraph stations within the workshops to send messages to neighboring places of work, but there seemed to be no art amongst all this artifice. "Are you all artificers here?" I asked with interest. "We are, but there's hardly enough to qualify us to make us automata," a middle-aged fellow by the name of Rafik remarked. "That is exactly what the guild certifies," I replied, surprised by his words. "In other cultures," Rafik continued derisively. "A copper lily may be enough for an artificer to complete their education, but we all apprentice to other guilds and craftsmen. Truly make automata, we must be jewelers, architects, shipwrights, cobblers, doctors, dancers." "But then you must learn endlessly." Rafik smiled. "Is that not what human culture is? Is that not what Tehran is? Endless learning, poured into buildings and gardens and inventions." I swallowed. "Are you sure you're not a poet?" "And I'm a dancer, too," Rafik winked, and we clinked our coffee glasses together. Someone further in called out, "To the Shahanshah, sure." And we raised our cups, and some wag added, "May he live forever under the watchful eye of the Prime Minister," and everyone laughed. That is my abiding memory of Tehran. A room full of men and women in the hazy light, raising their glinting glasses and laughing into the sunset. It is a city, I am sure, that will stand forever. To say that the capital of the Persian Empire is modern would be to deny the unparalleled glory of its ancient monuments and palaces. The Qajar Shahs ruled over an empire almost constantly at war, but the recent alliance with the Ottoman Sublime Porte had allowed the city to prosper despite border disputes with Russia and British India. The city itself is peaceful, untouched by the skirmishes and politics of the empire's borders. I perused its avenues, gazed upon yellow-lit palaces, and felt a great sense of calm descend upon me. Alright, where can we head? Where do I want to head? Where is all this? Hong Kong. I definitely want to get to Hong Kong. Alright, we have to go this way. We have to head to Kabul. The bank opens Monday. That's unfortunate. With what remained of the day, I went to stretch my legs and found a cheerful Greek clerk who had mislaid a locket, which I spotted, and who then, in between outbursts of shouting, mentioned that there is neither bank nor market in Krasnodar. I assured him we were unlikely to head that way, at which my friend laughed. "I can't understand travel, and still, here I am." Departs in 2 days. Interesting. so we can spend another night in the hotel. As night fell, I polished our shoes and hat brims to better prepare us for our inevitable departure. It was at 12 p.m. I guess we will just wait here for a moment then. Oh, please don't tell me I can depart yet. No, it departs tomorrow. Lovely. Monsieur Fogg looks steadfast. My funds at home are not unlimited. I would prefer not to draw on them, but... And with that complaint issued, he snapped shut his ledger. I regarded the bank. As we entered, as big as any London branch, they would no doubt serve us well. You would like to take out funds, we were told. It may take a few days. We require £1,000, I calculated. The manager made a note. I will check with head office to make the net transfer naturally, he declared. I expect an answer tomorrow morning. And with that, we will stay. Before turning in for the night, I helped the kitchen staff to clean, earning £113 in fees and tips. Our funds will be ready to collect when the bank opens. We collected our funds from the bank man, and the manager wished us well. Oh, son of a bitch. Alright, let's try it again. Is it not 12 p.m.? It would seem that It would seem I'm going to be here for 3 days, no matter what. This may be a good place to leave it off. Well, I hope you all have enjoyed this installment of 80 Days in the Monsieur Fogg's and Myself's journey across the world. Please stay tuned for the next episode, and we will see you all in the coming days. Farewell.